Canada likes to see itself as a peacemaker, a model of democracy, a land of equality. But that image was built on a foundation of denial. The legacy of colonization is not locked in the past. It lives in the present. It's there in the hundreds of boil water advisories still active in Indigenous communities. It's there in the overrepresentation of Indigenous children in foster care, and the families torn apart not by policy on paper, but by systems still steeped in colonial logic. It's there in the RCMP, an institution born to control and displace Indigenous people, now tasked with enforcing state policy on the very land it once helped steal. It's in the missing and murdered Indigenous women and girls, whose cases are often ignored, dismissed, or left unsolved, part of what a national inquiry called a Canadian genocide. It's in the land, the pipelines pushed through unceded territory, the resources extracted without consent, the sacred sites bulldozed in the name of progress. It's in the history we don't teach, like the fact that Indigenous women in Canada weren't even granted the right to vote until 1960, while countries that were often portrayed as poor, inferior, or uncivilized already had women leading them. And it's in the brutal policies we claim to have ended, like residential schools or forced sterilization. These may be officially gone in the eyes of the Canadian state, but they still continue behind the scenes under different names and forms. Children still get removed. Women still face systemic abuse. And if not questioned now, we'll be apologizing for them decades later. Again, too late. Colonization didn't end. It evolved. And while Canada offers apologies, flies rainbow flags, and holds reconciliation events, the deeper reckoning is still pending. Because reconciliation isn't about comfort. It's about truth. It's about returning land, about honoring treaties, about dismantling systems built on exploitation, and listening when Indigenous people say what they need, not what settler governments are willing to give. Yes, there is progress. There are voices rising in classrooms, in parliament, in courts. There are language revitalization programs, truth commissions, and land-back movements. But for every step forward, the wounds remain open until the foundation itself is rebuilt. This is not a call to guilt. It is a call to courage. Because healing a nation means facing the worst of its truths, not just with tears and apologies, but with accountability and action. Canada cannot move forward without Indigenous peoples, not as victims, but as partners, as leaders, as sovereign nations. The future of this country doesn't lie in forgetting the past. It lies in finally confronting it and refusing to look away. If this story moved you, share it, because silence has always been colonization's strongest weapon.